Hey guys, what's going on? It's a Blobble right about now, bringing you the latest episode to the channel. Now, a few of you want to see this video, so I'll just posted this out over on X. Do you guys want to see a video? I'm easy. I don't care whether I post one or not. I really don't care. I'm not here to build a following. If people want to subscribe and like my content, I do appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. But ultimately, we're in a very, very good position now through nothing but hard work, research, analysis, and just being consistent in the markets, guys. So I basically make my living from day trading and, investing in certain particular crypto assets. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So let me just mute this for you guys. Honestly, these gals can't get enough. Do you know what I mean? I got fucking dry powder coming out of my ear. Let me just mute. Do you know what? This is it, guys. It's just psychos everywhere. Right, that's done. Right, now let's get into it. So this is Velo. This is an ascending sort of triangle coming through contracting. So all these have been labelled now. There's a lot of TA on this. It will be a lot more clearer as I sort of zoom out, guys, but we've got it all marked out now. This is absolutely brilliant. So I'm basically fortunate enough to be in sort of cahoots with a TA firm that has actually provided me with this particular automated TA. So I've actually put all the TA in, and then basically algorithmic is basically plugged into TradingView, and then it automatically detects patterns into the market. Then literally all you have to do then is basically chat GPT a probability, for example, like the descending channel here, that's all marked out here. We've got the sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 count, essentially descending channel. You can then quickly go into chat GPT, and then you can basically research the probabilities of a breakout, whether it's to the downside or to the upside on that particular structure. Again, we've got ascending triangle, which is contracting. So ultimately, that is sort of bullish sort of infrastructure, but it's yet to play out because we've already had the sort of fifth wave count here. So we've yet to see a breakout. And judging by the markets, if we actually do go over into our shortlist to see the biggest and highest gainers and losers over here, we've got Velo at the moment, so that is down 5.5% on the day. Now, I do believe Velo is going to come much lower. We was looking for this break of this blue wedge. For you subscribers, you can see this blue wedge comes in massively here, and then again down here. Look how much TA is on this chart now. It's absolutely remarkable. It looks a mess, but I can always edit it out. I can always, for example, like this, can hide certain TA as and when I want to, which is great. But ultimately, I do believe Velo is rolling over. Now, initially, we was looking at invalidating this triple top, this sort of head and shoulder pattern. Now, when I've actually researched this with head and shoulder patterns, even though we've got this wick, which went higher than these sort of daily closes, when I've chat GPT'd this, I always use that just for confirmation. And basically, ChatGPT has basically come back and saying, unless we see a close above the neckline, which is here, so you got left shoulder, right shoulder, which is what we're interested in. We didn't see a daily close above this yellow line, okay? And we didn't see a daily close above this yellow line either. We were so close. Look at this close here, this green bar. This is how close we was to invalidating Velo. Velo did not invalidate it, unfortunately. So the triple top, the bearish structure is in place. Now, the only bullish structure we do have is the ascending triangles. So there's almost two lots of infrastructures that are playing out. We got this sort of bullish, sort of ascending triangle going on. But then we've also got the triple top. In my view, the triple top is acting a lot stronger than the ascending triangle, just because we've also got that secondary blue major trend line. So the higher time frames are obviously going to be stronger than the sort of daily, 4 hourly and hourly. So the higher the time frame, the higher the structure, the higher the resistance. So it looks as if, in my view, Velo is going to roll over here. Now, initially, I am targeting down here in my purple order block, which is down here. Now, the reason being is because we've got this blue macro trend line as acting as support. That's been acting as support all the way back down here, where we actually sort of marked out the bottom, So we saw the bottom down here, but essentially when the bull market started going in an upwards trajectory, that kind of marks out the beginning of that sort of phase. So What I look out for in the markets when I am looking for a long-term hold, not just necessarily trading because I can get in and out of the markets, but if I'm looking to hodl the bag, which is what I'm looking to do once these markets do retrace, I'm looking at this purple order block. And the reason being, as I mentioned, I've got the blue support there, and I've also got the red 200-day moving average. So that is where institutions typically enter the market. Okay, that doesn't mean that we can't fall below 200-day. It certainly can. But unfortunately, they don't extend. Yeah, moving average is a lagging indicator. So what I like to do is just use a nice straight line just to sort of project where the moving average is going to come in. And you can see here where this blue and the white sort of trend line come in is this sort of purple box here. So this is where my entries are going to be. Around sort of 1.5 cent, just above 1.5 cents. So if we was to capitulate, which I do believe is what's going on now, we're looking at anywhere between 40 to around 43%. Again, guys, we can wick lower and we can probably take out a lot of stop losses down here. So yeah, we're probably going to be looking at a sort of 40 to 50% drop. So you need to be mentally prepared for that, yeah? It's no good listening to Moonboy saying it's up, up, up and up. You don't need to listen to any YouTube channel that is screaming up. Why do you need to listen to anybody that's going to tell you up? You know, you're going to feel good. If anything, you need to be watching bearish videos that actually mentally prepare yourself for these capitulations in the market. Number one, you're going to save money. Number two, you're going to have more dry powder to actually invest at the bottom of these corrections, where you can 2, 3, 4x your capital in some cases. And number four, you're going to have the mental capacity to actually endure the pain once it does capitulate. And if you have got dry powder as a fourth, you know you're going to get mega rich, and these tokens are going to be up considerably after sort of US elections once we do eventually get moving with the official breakouts. Okay, so that is Velo. Gala is still rolling over at the moment. So Gala on the day is down 4%. You can see these daily candles here. We have lost sort of support here. It melted through. No trouble with this big red candle here. And we'll just go down into, let's even go down to like the hourly just to get a better read. So things are still breaking down here, and I do expect us to come down to this sort of white trend line that I've inserted here. Let's just go back onto the daily on the bigger sort of picture. Again, scroll out. And in my view, we're going to be looking at this sort of section here. So I'm going to be looking at re-entering Gala around 2 cents. Yeah. The, again, 200-day moving average is worth having a nibble at if you want to place orders around 2 cents 7, I would say, by the time this plays out. 2 cents 7, maybe, you know, invest a little bit of your capital at that point, 2 cents 7, just below 3 cents, and then the rest of your dry powder, I'd be looking at investing around 2 cents. That would be optimum sort of entries for Gala, and that's probably where I'll be entering. XDC, I was on the fence about XDC because when you get in the middle of no man's land, which is like all-time lows to all-time highs. Obviously, the all-time high is 19.5 cents. We'll just round it up to 20 cents. If you're hovering around 10 cents, you're literally in the middle of freaking zero and the all-time highs. So it's very difficult. It's 50-50 because you're at resistance, 50-50. So it's only because the rest of the market is falling and correcting to the downside. It's no brainer, isn't it? All the rest of the cryptos are going to follow suit. You know, there isn't a crypto that's just going to continue running up solely by itself, and that's what XDC is doing. And you can see XDC is similar sort of structure in this move as to XLM and XRP. So they're moving very, very similarly. Okay, we've had a falling wedge on XRP. Done exactly the same. So I do expect us to roll over. 200-day moving average as it stands with XDC is around 4 cents. And that would coincide, again, when we see a couple of sort of technical sort of details that a strong confluence, for example, like this order block down here that I've highlighted in purple, that sort of support there is also around 4 cents. And by the time that red, like the 200-day moving average comes up, again, we're going to be around 4 cents. So 4 cents for XDC would be my entry. If you get a fill below that, again, I'm not saying that's going to be the low, but I would be more than happy re-entering the market under 4 cents, believe me and you. So that is XDC. Sub 4 cent XDC would be fantastic, because I do believe XDC is going to get to some massive numbers. I reckon it's going to do a similar style sort of move to XRP did back in that 2017-18 cycle, yeah, where it, rallied up, tens of thousands of percent, basically, is what I'm saying. So yeah, that's XDC. Somebody wanted me to cover Quant, so we'll just look at Quant now. Have I still got it in the watch list? Because I did clear it up a bit with some cryptos that I didn't have. Let's just quickly find Quant before we do get onto XRP. Let's Quant on. I did have TA on Quant. I did have my own TA, not just these added sort of patterns that are playing out in the market. But again, 200-day moving average is around 80. I'm going to say $81, $82. So again, guys, you're going to save a considerable amount of money with Quant. If we just scroll out now to the weekly, look at this, guys. I can quickly insert these lines here. So you've got this sort of wedge playing out here. So far, Quant is actually holding up pretty well on this white trend line. Yeah, but if we just clone that, it looks as if, again, like I keep saying, there's no crypto that's going to escape. So ultimately, Quant could fall back inside of this parallel channel. And to be fair with you, it's very difficult to say where Quant's going to go, because it could hold up here, but then again, you got the 200-day moving average at $80. And then that would signal that we are going to take out lows around $50. I don't know if Quant really come down to $50. It'd be about 50% retracement, which is what I expect a lot of the other cryptos to do. So a $50 Quant could be possible during this next wave, this correction to the downside. So if we get a $50 Quant, my God, I'll be backing up the truck with that, because Quant's barely moved at the moment. So you'd probably, for more bang for your buck, better return on investment with Quant as opposed to some of these other cryptos we've been looking at. XRP, where are you, baby? I love XRP. Yeah, I love it. Even though I'm not in it right now, I'm waiting for the correction. And look at this fractal. It's playing out beautifully. Yeah, I'll just move this so you guys can see it. Slap bang jam right there on the button. Yeah, we've been saying Friday. Look at with this big white candle down here. This is Friday, so this is why I was saying around the 10th we'll see the SEC come out and submit their appeal to the US court. And that's what will probably tank the rest of the market. Okay, and this will then take us into this green vertical line, 20th of January, when Donald Trump steps into office. Again, we're looking for further confluence. The confluence is here. This is support on this second shelf, this order block. If you guys want me to make it purple, I will do, similarly to the other chart I was just showing you, where we've got two lots of confluence at the 200-day moving average and also as support on one of these lower shelves. Now, funnily enough, this is around $1. So, in my view, XRP is coming back down to $1. And if it falls below sub $1, people are gonna like crumble. Honestly, people will be crying. There's gonna be domestics, put it that way, because a lot of you guys, it's all like 99% of my channel is basically blokes. People like blokes just want to get rich. It's our only way to increase our value, and that's what we do. Yeah, women are born with value, is what they say, and then men have got to build value. So there'll be a lot of men crying. Yeah, there'll be a lot of grown men crying because they've lost all the money in the portfolio. Where people that are following this channel and actually trust what I'm saying are actually, making sense of some of the logical statements that I'm making over on this technical analysis. They're going to save themselves a lot of money, and they're going to have a lot of dry powder for getting in around that sort of 1 cent mark. So around here, I would say about 1.7, 1.8. That would be brilliant. If you're even just buying just above $1, that would be a brilliant entry in my view. Okay, again, these don't account for wicks. So I do believe we are going to wick into the sort of apex down here. I'll have to redo the TA again just for this, because look at it, it's all the way out here. But if we bring it down, yeah, somewhere around there. So that would be the apex for me around sort of US selection. So I do believe we'll start wicking into about these sort of marks here, just catching these closes here. So I reckon anywhere between sort of 50 to 55 cent, that would be a beautiful entry. So whether you guys want to enter, if you are in dry powder, it's up to you how you split your ratio, yeah? Have a couple of buy orders rather than just going all in at the lowest sort of point. you could say, listen, I'm going to invest 50% of my dry powder, which is what I'm allocating to XRP, $1.07, and then the remaining 50% I could invest at 50 cents. Okay, don't matter how you do it. This is up to you guys. Okay, you could say, listen, I'll get back into XRP at $1.07, $1.08. Yeah, I'll enter with 20% of my dry capital. Then I could save 80% for 51%. It depends how risk averse you are and how sort of needy you want to be back into the market. Do you know what I mean? So again, guys, it's all risk to reward. There's no guarantee we will come back down here. It's my personal view that we will. It will be a wick, which is why I do suggest buy orders. Do not wait for the market and try to trigger it in real time, because it's probably going to be too quick. I would imagine that XRP does bounce straight back up. If we do see any wicks, and then we'll probably bleed for around 40 days, which is what I'm looking at the moment. And that's probably when I'll provide an update for the XRP and the XDC plans, guys. So you will be included. So that's people that have already purchased the XRP plan and the XDC plans over on, well, it's down below in the link. So XRP and XDC. So yeah, I'll wait for this to play out now, and then I'm looking at 40 days after the 20th of January. That's historically when we've seen the sort of bottom. I'd have to go back in, and then I'll do some, fine detailing. And what I'll do is I'll add more detail out into sort of the percentages I'll be cashing out as well. So I'm going to add that in. Okay. So in my view, that's a bargain. $95. That's going to save you an absolute fortune. Say, for example, you've got 10 grand invested here. Even just off this free content now that I'm doing with videos, you got 10 grand invested. Say you're going to come down to $1. That's 54%. Yeah, I would have saved you $5,500 just with this free content alone that I'm, sharing with you guys today. Okay, make sure to like, share, subscribe the video. Help us out with a thumbs up. Until next time, I've been the Block Bull. Block Bull is over and out.